Greetings everybody and welcome to another Chat with Deb. Today I'd like to share with you a great way to share links with your students if you're in a one-to-one environment. If you're still emailing your students links to sites for them to go to, I have a much better way that you can share your links, you can save those links year after year so you always have access to them, and if your students are doing research, this is a great way that I'm going to show you today to guide your students' research so that they're not searching the entire internet for what they're looking for, but just the sites that you choose for them to be able to go to. So let's learn today all about Google Sites. So to get started, you do need to have a Gmail account. Our school happens to be a Google Apps for Education school, so all of our students have Google Gmail and access to the different Google apps. So to get started, what you have to do after you have your Gmail account is go up, and for a URL, you're just going to type in sites.google.com, and that will take you to your Google Sites. Now I have created quite a few sites over the years, so as I'm scrolling down, you're going to see I have quite a list of sites. But the one that I want to take you to is the one that I use to share resources with my students. Right here, Room 330 Resources and Websites. Not a very interesting name, but that's what we call it. And so here you can see I have many tabs over on the left for different units of study or different topics that we use throughout the day and throughout the school year. And when I click on any of these, for example, if I click on the Math Skills page, what it does is it has for the students different sites that I wish for them to use while we're doing our unit on math skills. So I can direct them here and say, please click on the maps and more maps, or please click on the match game. And it's all set up for my students to be able to access whenever they need it. Today I'm going to show you how to create one of these sites for yourself. I'm also going to show you how you can sort of turn off these links on the left and hide them for when you're not using them, but yet save them so that when you do need them, you can just turn them back on for the students. It's very easy to kind of hide your pages and then bring your pages back. I'm also going to show you how to set up a page template so that you don't have to recreate each of your pages each time. You can make a template that just easily creates the pages for you. So let's get started. So to create your first site, you're going to click right in the top left where it says Create. The next thing it's going to do is ask you what you would like to name your site. Your site name cannot be the same as anyone else's site name, so it may tell you when you try to name your site that that site already is taken. I'll try to think of a more original name than my last site, so how about if we call it Norton's Nuggets. The next thing that you can do when you're in here is to select a theme. When I click that, I can scroll down and see all of the different themes that Google Sites has for me to choose from, and there are quite a few. Now know that you can customize any theme after you choose it. You can change colors, you can change pictures, logos, so even if you pick a theme, you can still really customize it to your own liking. But for today, I think I'll choose the legal pad for something different, and I'm just simply going to now say Create. And my Google site is now being created for me. Alright, so here's my site created for me, Norton's Nuggets. The first thing I want to do is change my logo. Our domain automatically puts our ribbon logo where I teach on every site. So to change that logo and to kind of customize my page, I'm going to go to the More tab. Then just go down to where it says Edit Site Layout. And at this part, you can edit each part of the layout of your site. The sidebar can be edited. You can also edit up here your site header, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to click right up here on my site header, and it says to select my logo. So rather than my domain default logo, I'm going to use a custom logo, and I'm just going to choose a file for my desktop that I've already saved. I took a picture from our classroom, so I'm just going to use that particular picture for my logo. So I'm going to click, and in a second we'll see that logo show up. Alright, the other thing I'm going to do is right here where it says alignment, I'm going to choose the center because I think this will look better if it's centered at the top of my page. And I'll click OK, and I'll click Done or Close. And now you can see I have my logo as a picture from our classroom, and Norton's Nuggets. Now, another thing I can change under that site layout, if I go back to more and edit site layout, is the sidebar over here. If I just click, I can turn off the sitemap, which I don't need. My students won't need a sitemap in this case. So I will change that and just hit OK, and my sitemap will go away. Now you can see I just have the sidebar with the home button. The next thing I want to do is create some pages to put over on the left side of my website, and these pages will be the pages my students will go to access the websites I want to share with them. So right up here in the right corner there is a little page with a plus sign, and when you hover over it, it says New Page. I'm going to click that. I'm going to make this first page generic, so it will be like my template for all the other pages I'm going to create. But I do want to think of a topic that we're doing right now. So I'm going to make a math page, and this page will be used to share all the math sites that I want to with my students. A very important step when creating pages is to make sure you click right here where it says put it under the home page. So it won't be at the same level as the home page, but it'll be underneath that page. And then I'm just going to click Create, which is right up here. And if I scroll down my page a little bit, it created my new math page, but you can see there are two things on this page: add files and for students to comment. And I don't really need that feature in this case. Those are nice features to have when you're creating a site, but I just don't need them. So I want to turn off these two features before I make this my page template. So to turn those off, I'm going to save my page as it is. The next step after it saves my page is to go right up here where it says More. I'll click on More and click on Page Settings. I can set the settings of my page right up here. I do want to show the page title. I do want to show links to subpages, but I do not want to allow attachments or comments. So I'm just going to click those off and click Save. Now I just need to make this page into a template. To save this page as a template, I click the More. I scroll down a little ways until I see Save Page as Template. I'm going to click that. I'll call the template name Website, and I'll leave it just like it is. Notice here I have the top level change. I can change it if I want to. So if I click that, it says select a default page location. I just really want it to be under the Home tab. So I'll select that and save, and now I have my page template. Now that I've created that template, it's super easy for me to add pages to my website. All I need to do is go up where the little square is again, just like before, to add a new page. Let's say my students are studying Colonial America right now, and I want them to have some access to some links to Colonial America sites. All I need to do now, right below here, it says select a template to use. When I click the down arrow, you'll now see my template added to this list. So websites right here, I'm going to click it. Notice it automatically puts my page under the home page, so I don't have to even worry about it. And I'm going to just click create, and it's going to create that page for me and add it to my website. So here it is, right here, Colonial America. By default, Google Sites will put your pages in order alphabetically. That's fine with me. It makes it easier for my students to find those sites. You can change this. You can look up how to change the navigation of the sites and put them in a different order of your choosing, but I'm fine with the ABC order. Now let me show you how easy it is to share links with your students to sites you want them to have access to. I'm on my Colonial America page. I'm in the editing mode. I can tell because up here is a save and a cancel, so I know that I'm editing, and I have a full editing bar right here. Now what I've done is I found two websites I really want my students to have access to. I've typed names for the websites right here. One is History Globe and the other is Colonial Williamsburg. All I need to do is get the URLs for those two sites. So here's my History Globe site right here. I'm going to copy, Control-C, the URL, go back to my page. I'm going to highlight the text that I typed in and hit the link button. Here I need to just make sure I say that this is a web address. I'm not linking to a page in my site, but rather a web address. I will now Control-V paste my URL in. I like to check this box right here, which is open this link in a new window, so that when the kids open the site, it opens a new tab instead of taking them away from my Google site. I'm going to click OK, and now this is linked to that website. I will do the same for the Colonial Williamsburg site that I have right here. I'm going to copy my URL, go back to my site, highlight the text, hit the link button, going to let it know this is a web address, paste it, tell it to open in a new window, and hit OK. Now I just need to save this page, and as you can see, now these are live links that will open a new tab, take me away from my Google site, and open the site for the students to view. So that part is pretty easy. Now let me show you how you can turn these pages on and off for your students. Sometimes you finish a unit, like let's say I finished Colonial America, and I no longer need those sites opened up to my students. To keep things opened or closed, all you have to do is go up to where it says More, go down quite a ways to where you see Sharing and Permissions. Click that, and in the top right corner you'll see Enable Page Level Permissions. Click on that. The next thing you'll do is click on Turn on Page Level Permissions. And now my page level permissions are opened. Right over here I have a Home tab with a little plus. I'm going to click the plus and I'll see the 2 pages I just created. Let's go to the Colonial America page. And right now, that has the same permissions as Home, which is anybody can view it. What I want to do though is change that. So I'm going to click on Change. Over here I'm going to click on Use Custom Permissions. I want to use custom permissions, and I'm not going to add new users. As a matter of fact, the only person who's editing my page is myself. I could have other users, like if I had a co-teacher and I wanted my co-teacher to be able to edit all of my pages and add new pages, I could do that if I wanted to. I'm going to click Save. Now, for Colonial America right now, my view is that only people in the Ripon Area School District can view it or edit it. I'm going to change that. And I'm going to say specific people, and when I click Save on specific people, my Colonial America page is now private. So when people go to my site, that page will no longer show up. When I next year am doing Colonial America once again for my unit, and I'm thinking, gosh, I want to turn on that page again and give access to all those links, all I have to do is go back to this Change button, and I can make it viewable to people at Ripon Area School District, or that have the link, or even right up here, Ripon Area School District. And I'm going to leave this Can View. I don't want them to be editing my page. Click Save, and now that page is viewable once again to all the people in my Ripon Area School District, including my students or anyone in my domain. So that's how you simply turn on and turn off your pages. Are you starting to feel really smart about Google Sites? Basically, I've shown you everything you need to know except just a couple of little things. So what I'd like to do is open up the site I actually use with my students, my Room 330 resources and websites. Here are the different pages I have open right now for the students to view. I'd like to go to More and my Sharings and Permissions and show you some of my pages. So if I click on the Welcome, you can see if I click on Dinosaurs, right now anybody in my Ripon domain, including my students, could edit this page. I don't really want them to be able to edit it, so I can change this and say that they can only view that page. And if I click Save, now Dinosaurs is only viewable to the people in my domain. But there are some sites, like my Friday Fun site, that has links on it that are just very educational games and activities that kids can do, and I turn it on every Friday. There, I actually let the kids edit this page. I'll let them add pages. Of course, I keep a close eye on what they're adding. But if they find a site that's really great for us to learn from and use on our Fridays, I'll leave this open to editing. Now I'm going to click right up here where it says Room 330 Resources and go back to my website. So this is the trickiest part of all. When you're ready to share your website with your students, what you'll want to do is be on your Welcome or Home page. And you'll want to go up and just simply share this URL right up here in the Omnibox. Share that with your students to get them to the site. I often have my students just click and drag the icon to their bookmarks and bookmark the site. So they don't even have to type in a URL. They can just click right here and it'll take them right to my site. When you click on Share over on the right hand side, that is not sharing the site itself, the site link with your students. That's going to your permissions, your sharing and permissions. So do not share that with the students. You don't want to share that link. You simply want the link to your site that's right up here as a URL. Well, now you know how to create a Google site. And the best part is you have complete control over who gets to view, who gets to edit, and you can save all your sites from year to year. I just have to show you one more thing. Let's say I wanted students to do a research project on dinosaurs, but I want to limit their research as far as where they'll be going on the internet. Probably I'd do this if I had a certain readability level of my students. I didn't want them to experience sites that were too difficult for them to read, and also just to structure where they're going. I like to know the different sites the students are visiting. So what I'm going to do is load several sites that I want my students to be able to go to for their research on dinosaurs. Okay, so here's one of my sites I like, and I found this site, and this one, and this one. I've loaded all 4 tabs. I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to click up at the top, Google Custom Search. This is the easiest way to get to Google Custom Search. I'm going to click the very first tab, Custom Search Engine. I've already created some custom search engines right here, one on plants, cultures of the world, one on Liberty Kids. But what I would like to do right now is create a new Google Custom Search. I'm going to click on Add. I want to scroll down. Right down here it asks me to name the search engine. I'm going to call it Dinosaurs. After I name it Dinosaurs, I'm going to go right up here where it says Sites to Search. I'll get my first site and just copy, again, Control-C, the link, the URL link. I'll go back to my custom search and paste it in. Then it gives me a space for yet another one. So I'll take my second site that I want, copy, and paste. I'm going to continue to add my last 2 sites, copying and pasting them in. You can add as many as you want. I added all 4 in, so I'm going to hit the Create button, and it is now saving my Google Custom Search. Alright, now that I created that Google Custom Search, I'm just going to get the public URL. So right here is the URL that I want to copy. I want to then go back to my website where I have the dinosaurs, and I'm going to just type in, click here to research dinosaurs. I will highlight the click here. I'll go up to my link. I will choose web address, and I will paste in my link to my custom Google search, opening it in a new window and clicking OK. I think I'd like this to be just a tad bit larger, so I'm going to just increase the size of my font. And now I'm going to save my page. When I share my site with students and they click the Dinosaurs tab and come to this part of the website, they'll click here, it'll open a new tab, and here's my Google Custom Search. Now, when the students type in a term to search for, and they click the search button, the only part of the internet that it is going to show results for this particular search are the sites that I put into the Google Custom Search. So as I scroll down the results here, what the students will have are different sites that they can go to, but look at how my sites are all of the sites that I chose in my Google Custom Search. So as they're searching, it'll only search that part of the internet. So this is a great way, using Google Custom Search, to really control where your students are able to go on the internet. Alright, well, I hope you've learned a lot about creating a Google site today and using Google Custom Search, and I hope you give this a try, especially if you're in a one-to-one environment. This is probably the best way that I've found to share sites with my students, and allows me to have control to turn things on and off throughout the year. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this chat with Deb, and I look forward to talking to you again. Bye, everyone.